Wait. Nung nag-post kami sa Instagram na nasa New Zealand kami, dalawa sa mga unang messages na natanggap namin ay magkano po ang magagastos and pa-share naman ng itinerary. And hindi naman yon katakataka really. Kasi ang New Zealand, isa talaga yan sa mga pinaka-pinapangarap and pinaka-cinematic na destinations on Earth. Pero hindi ito ang most affordable or easiest to get to. So in this video, i-share namin sa inyo yung full New Zealand itinerary namin, kasama na rin yung breakdown of everything na ginastos namin, from transportation to accommodations to food to activities and even yung occasional na treat yourself moment. Hey there, Tipiter! We are Vince and Josh, and we've been travel blogging for the past 15 years. Pero bago kami mag-itinerary and budget reveal, know na we consistently publish comprehensive travel videos. So kung bago ka dito, please support us by hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon beside it, then select all para hindi mo ma-miss yung mga future uploads natin. If you're watching this on Facebook, 1 million strong na yung community natin. So, pa-like and follow na rin yung page na to. Okay, first things first, before our flight, we made sure to accomplish the New Zealand Traveler Declaration Form and dineclare namin yung mga risk items na dala namin. Konti lang naman yon. We flew in from Melbourne with Jetstar and landed at Auckland International Airport at around 5:30 a.m. And to be honest, yung risk items lang naman na dala namin ay chocolates. So, mabilis lang kami naka-breeze through sa customs. The immigration officer at the counter was also super friendly. Sila siguro yung pinaka-friendly na IO na na-encounter namin anywhere in the world sa 15 years na pagta-travel namin. So, very promising, very delightful yung start ng New Zealand journey natin. Upon emerging at the arrival hall, I withdrew some backup cash, although hindi naman namin talaga nagamit most of it kasi mostly cashless naman ang New Zealand. Yun nga lang, kapag credit card yung ginagamit, meron talaga sila, well, madalas na encounter namin to, pero hindi naman sa lahat, na 1 to 2% na credit card surcharge. Anyway, just outside the terminal, hinanap namin yung bus stop E, where we would catch the SkyDrive Airport bus. Ito yung bus na magdadala sa amin straight to the city center. Nahirapan kami nung unang hanapin, pero basta tandaan nyo na lang na paglabas nyo ng terminal building, nasa left side nyo ito. To the left. Everything you need is the bus to the left. Muntikan ko ng kantahin. According to Google Maps, the SkyDrive bus takes 25 to 45 minutes to reach downtown. Depende sa traffic conditions. Pero, ang aga pa nung dating namin eh. And so, yung bus, 20 minutes lang, nandun na kami sa hotel. Ang fare ay 20 New Zealand dollars or roughly 642 pesos. The hotel we booked was ito, Sky City, Auckland, just next to the iconic Sky Tower. Dahil way ahead of the standard check-in time tayo dumating, hindi pa ready yung room. Pero kinit muna nila yung bags namin, tapos kami, nag-decide muna kami na maglibot-libot sa labas. Auckland is the largest city dito sa New Zealand. Pero hindi ito as bustling or as overwhelming tulad ng ibang cities, yung mga big cities ng other countries. It still retains a pretty laid-back atmosphere. Pero for now, we decided na mag-sightseeing muna by following a section of Auckland's Foreshore Heritage Walking Trail. You see, yung shoreline ng city ngayon, actually, ang laki na ng pinagbago nito after a series of reclamations starting in the 19th century. Yung seaboard nito today is almost unrecognizable na from dati. But you can still trace the original coastline by following the walking trail, punctuated with 25 points of interest from Point Erin in the west all the way to Parnell Baths in the east. Some of these stops include heritage buildings and streets. Pero don't worry, yung mga sites na to, marked naman ito with information plaque so you could better appreciate its history and significance. And kung susundan nyo yung buong trail, it should take at least 3 hours. Pero, hindi nyo naman kailangan buuin kung hindi nyo feel. We had a quick lunch before heading back to the hotel to check in. Yung room namin, very spacious and malinis talaga. Wala kaming view na maganda, pero it was equipped with the usual full-service hotel staples like TV, mini-fridge, heater, air conditioning, work desk, toiletries, and whatnot. Dahil kulang pa kami sa tulog, nag-decide muna kaming umidlip. Context, from Melbourne kasi kami nanggaling, which was a week-long wedding trip, and we toured our families and friends. So yes, this is sort of a honeymoon trip, pero with a couple of friends. With all the wedding preparations and pag-organize ng mga tours, syempre pagod na kami at this point. Kaya kailangan talaga namin maghabol ng tulog. And while we're taking a nap, let me tell you about our hotel discount codes. Book your hotels with Klook and use our promo codes, the Poor Traveler Klook for up to 300 pesos off or TPT Klook 5 for up to 500 pesos off. Itong mga codes na to may change in the future, so visit www.thepoortraveler.net/Klook to get the updated code and automatically redeem our discount voucher. Don't worry, hindi nyo kailangang i-memorize yung mga codes na to and yung mga links na to. You can simply check out the description of this video and pinned comment or visit the TPT master list at thepoortraveler.net/masterlist kung saan namin ipapublish lahat ng New Zealand travel essentials including yung mga hotels and tours na na-experience namin. Anyway, going back to the itinerary, at around 4 p.m., we got up and prepared to go out. Our original plan was to climb to the observation deck of the Sky Tower, but our Auckland-based friend, Jerwin, invited us to a rooftop cocktail bar, and of course, hindi naman tayo tumatanggi sa alak. So we chose shots over sights. But if you intend to go to the Sky Tower, the entrance fee is $45, New Zealand dollars yun, if you buy online, and mas mahal lang ng $2. So, $47 yon for walk-in guests. After hours of catching up with Jerwin, it was time to meet up with our other friends na makakasama natin sa trip na to sa New Zealand. Si Jax, Ivan, and Krisa. We ended the night with a round of beer at the iconic Shakespeare Hotel, which houses the oldest microbrewery pub sa Auckland. Vince downed a glass of the crisp and clean Pilsner, nicknamed the Jester, while ako naman, as always, opted with something darker called the Grave Digger, which is actually a porter beer made from dark malt and had delicious bitter notes of coffee.
There's some coffee.
And yun, we called it a night and headed back to the hotel. Our day 2 started early, like really early. That's because the Hobbiton movie set tour schedule that we got was at 11 a.m. It was the only slot available nung time na nag-book kami, so wala naman talaga kaming choice. Hobbiton is 2 hours away from Auckland. And we had yet to secure car rental, so we were up as early as 6 a.m. para lang, to be on the safe side. The car we rented was good for 5 passengers, kasama na yung driver, and 4 na suitcases, which was perfect kasi wala namang dalang luggage si Jax kasi hindi siya sasama sa amin para Turua. So, maghiwalay na kasi kami after ng Hobbiton, babalik siya ng Auckland, tapos kami magdadrive na para Turua. Anyway, the tour that we booked would be picking up guests at the Mata-Mata Eyesight. Eyesight is the term na ginagamit nila for the official tourist information centers dito sa New Zealand. Dahil maaga kami dumating, we decided to grab breakfast from the food spots along the main road. Jax and Vince shared a pie while I had meat on skewers. After a quick photo op with the Hobbiton signage, we boarded the bus to the movie set. On the way there, the TV screen inside the bus showed mini docus about the site. And by 11:45 a.m., nakarating na kami dun sa entrance to the set. The only way to explore this site is by joining a guided tour tulad nito, and you must stick to your group all the time. Along the way, yung guide nyo would be sharing interesting facts about how the site was chosen and built and how the films were made. Vince and I had seen both The Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies multiple times, director's cut, extended versions, ganyan. So we were really thrilled to walk on the same ground as Bilbo, Frodo, and Sam. The site was used for exterior shots only, And at the time of filming, all interior scenes were shot in a studio elsewhere. Ngayon, however, may dalawang Hobbit houses na pwede mong pasukin and i-explore. Think of it as parang mini museum, but they were not used dun sa mga movies. One of the most fascinating bit na nalaman namin on site, ito palang giant oak tree na to ay fake. Completely fake. The trunk and yung mga sanga-sanga were made of fiberglass and yung dahon niya gawa sa silk. There was also a snack stop in the middle of the tour where we enjoyed a complimentary drink. This can be stout, amber ale, apple cider, or ginger beer. After the tour, the bus took us to Shire's Rest Cafe, which was the more usual jump-off point to Hobbiton. They also had a souvenir shop on site. We then boarded another bus back to Matamata Eyesight. The tour itself lasted 2 hours. Yung tour lang ha. Pero pagkasama yung bus transfers from Matamata Eyesight and the stop at Shire's Rest, siguro mga 4 hours yon in total. At least 6 hours if kasama mong bibilangin yung transfers to and from Auckland or Rotorua. After parting ways with Jax, we then drove to our hostel in Rotorua called Rock Solid Backpackers. Nagbayad kami dito ng 5,466 pesos per night and 2 nights lang naman kami dito. No frills hostel ito, but we had in the room a table, mini fridge, and an ensuite toilet and bath. Fan room lang to. Walang aircon, which was okay lang kasi yung climate naman dito sa New Zealand ay relatively mild even in the summer. After naming ibaba yung gamit namin and mag-freshen up a little bit, it was time to head to the Wakarewa Forest. Isa pa, Wakarewa Forest for an elevated hike. Literally. This is the Redwoods Tree Walk, a collection of 28 suspension bridges spanning 700 meters, making it the longest living tree walk in the world. Kailangan mong sundan yung path and you only get 1 round. Tapos, pagdating mo yung dulo, tapos na siya. Hindi ka pwede magpabalik-balik.
Lang, ang haba ng mga bridges dito. Tsaka maggalaw siya. Pero, secured naman.
You can enjoy it in the daytime or at night, each requiring a separate ticket at 40 NZD. Unless i-avail mo yung combo ticket which costs 60 NZD. So kapag ganon, makaka $20 discount ka kaysa bumili ka ng dalawang separate. I-combo nyo na lang. Yun yung ginawa namin. We purchased the combo ticket. Under the daylight and just before sunset, yung site na to had this enchanting atmosphere. It was like communing with nature pero with a bit of excitement kasi mataas eh. But at night, when the illuminations were on, it gave off a more otherworldly feel. And wag niyong i-miss yung ice cream sold on site kasi masarap talaga. After this, we spent some time chatting in Chris's hotel room and siguro past midnight na by the time na mag-decide kaming pumunta na sa kanya-kanyang hotel. For day 3, our original plan was to be amazed by the Waitomo glowworm caves. But the night before, nag-agree kami na wag na lang nating ituloy kasi si Krisa, yung designated captain of the car natin, was not feeling comfortable driving for 2.5 hours to the caves. We also took this opportunity to finally get some decent sleep. Although this was only our 3rd day in New Zealand, if you count our stay in Australia, pang 10 araw na namin to. Day 10, and prior to this, hindi pa talaga kami nakakakuha ng tulog na longer than 4 hours. So, we really took advantage of it. So, sa day na to, the gang met up for lunch here at Eat Street, a collection of the city's most popular restaurants. Vince and I shared lamb chops and barbecue pork ribs. New Zealand is famous for its big population of sheep, so lamb talaga yung in-order namin. Parang no-brainer siya for us. We also ordered pork just in case too gamey yung lamb for our own taste. And medyo may maanggot talaga. Then we drove to Waiotapu Geothermal Wonderland, one of New Zealand's most colorful and surreal natural attractions. Waiotapu, which means sacred waters in Maori, is a volcanic park famous for its bubbling mud pools, steaming craters, and the iconic champagne pool. Next to it is the Artist's Palette, a rainbow-colored terrace that looks like someone spilled watercolors everywhere. As in, ganda. Pero hindi lang siya ganda lang. It smells like sulfur or bugok na itlog. So come prepared with a strong nose or a strong sense of humor. After taking care of something at the Rotorua Airport, we then drove to Rotorua Lakefront Boardwalk on the coast of Lake Rotorua. We spent over an hour here, relax lang, chill, absorbing the surroundings before returning to Eat Street for dinner. Dito namin naisipan kumain sa Atticus Finch, pero yung highlight talaga para sa amin ng gabing to ay yung ice cream sa Lady Jane's. Lahat kami umorder ng double scoop worth $10.80. And yung in-order ko, yung fig and manuka honey, yun yung best for me. Kasi tinikman ko din yung order ng iba. Although Rotorua has its own airport, flights to Christchurch from here are significantly pricier than from Auckland. So, bumalik kami sa Auckland kasi mas mura doon. We stopped at a gas station, returned the car rental at Europcar International site, and then walked 1.2 kilometers to the domestic terminal. We grabbed lunch and then flew to Christchurch. Dumating kami sa Christchurch, also called New Zealand's Garden City, at around 5:30 p.m. And just outside the airport, we boarded the bus to the city center, which set us back $4 per person. Kung may Metro card kayo, $2 na lang yon, pero dahil wala pa kaming ganong card, $4 pag cash. Dito sa Christchurch, we'd be spending 2 nights at Haka House, a 19th century building transformed into a guest house. It's newly renovated, so yung vibe niya is mas boutique hotel kesa hostel. We shelled out 5,895 pesos per night for a private room for 2 with ensuite toilet and bath. Basically, binabalang ulit namin yung gamit namin dito kasi gutom na kami. Dumiretso na kami sa Riverside Market, which is a fantastic diverse food hall. Category is international cuisine. Vince had Thai, ako naman Malaysian yung in-order ko. After nun, bumili kami ng Ben & Jerry ice cream just to remind ourselves of the taste of non-New Zealand ice cream. But feel free to skip it since you can find it everywhere. So, ano lang naman to, parang eme lang. So, hindi ko na rin to isasama sa budget breakdown later. At this point, we had only been in Christchurch for a few hours, pero sobrang bet na bet namin yung city na to. Kahit at night, we could tell na it was full of charm and character. Our day 5 was all about Christchurch. At 10 a.m., nandun na kami sa Christchurch Arts Center kung saan nagsa-start yung city walking tour nila. Yung guide namin, ito si Craig, a local and a prolific traveler himself. And for the next 3 hours, he showed us around his hometown. Yes, 3 hours of walking, hopping from one notable site to another, appreciating heritage buildings, and getting inspired by how the city built itself up after the catastrophic 2011 earthquake. Needless to say, we were exhausted by the end of it. Good thing the tour ended at the Canterbury Earthquake National Memorial, which was just a block away from the Riverside Market where we had lunch. This time, Vince went Mexican and ako naman umorder ng Indian lunch platter from Dosa Kitchen with 2 types of curries, rice, and naan bread for only 18 New Zealand dollars. After the walking tour, we really wanted to just chill and take a break from all the galloping, so we set our sights on the Christchurch gondola. You can take the bus for 4 NZD ulit, or yun nga, 2 NZD kung meron kayo nung local card nila. But since we were a group of 4, hailing an Uber wasn't that bad. 26 NZD total yon, or 6.5 NZD per person. Yung ticket dito sa gondola ay $42 per person. So, sumakay kami sa cable car, tapos 10 minutes yung ride paakyat. 1,000 meters yung journey papunta dun sa tuktok ng Mount Cavendish. And yung viewpoint doon at 445 meters above sea level offers breathtaking panoramic views of the city, the Canterbury Plains, the Southern Alps, and even the Pacific Ocean. The building is also home to Red Rock Cafe. We all decided to get coffee to keep our spirits up. I had flat white, and since we had not had dessert yet, Vince and I shared a cookie. After a couple of hours, we rode the cable car down to the base and boarded bus number 8 back to the city center. This time, we were to explore the Botanic Gardens. You can join a guided tour on board a Caterpillar shuttle, but we decided to explore it on foot and on our own instead. For dinner, we opted to return to New Regent Street na dinaanan namin kanina during the walking tour. Tapos, tambay-tambay lang kami dito kasi ang ganda dito eh. Okay. We also had another dose of ice cream, this time from Rollickin, a local favorite. I had a scoop of Biscoff the Charts and Hokey Tokey Pokey. Although hindi ko na natikman yung mga in-order na Vince and Ivan. It's time to head to Queenstown, but instead of flying or taking a direct bus, we opted to join a one-way tour instead. When you book a one-way tour, the shuttle will pick you up in one city and then the tour will end in another, making stops along the way. Sa case na to, sa Christchurch kami pinick up early in the morning, around 6:30 a.m. Toured the Lake Tekapo and Mount Cook areas, and then binaba kami sa Queenstown. It's like tour and transfer in one. The vehicle also had a trailer kung saan mo pwedeng i-store yung luggage. And kasama na rin dito sa package yung lunch. You can book this tour on Klook, and again, you can use our promo codes the Poor Traveler Klook and TPT Klook 5 for discounts. Yung first stop natin ay Geraldine for coffee and breakfast. Tapos drive, and then nag-stop sa quaint na Church of the Good Shepherds standing next to Lake Tekapo. Tapos we sampled salmon dishes and fruit ice cream and marveled at stunning roadside views. We also took plenty of photos at Lake Pukaki and hiked along the Hooker Valley Trail. Hanggang dito lang sa bridge na to yung narating namin kasi medyo kinapos na sa oras. Parang binigyan lang kasi kami ng 45 minutes eh. So hindi talaga abot kahit anong gawin namin. But we still had a blast. They dropped us off at our lodge, the Black Sheep Backpackers Hostel, kung saan kami magsistay for the next 4 nights. Yung binayad namin dito ay roughly 215 per night. 2 bookings kasi to magulo. Basta, pero around that much. Kasi parang meron kami unang booking tapos nag-extend kasi kami. Anyway, yung price na yan is for a private fan room na walang sariling toilet and bath. Pero ito na talaga yung pinakamurang nahanap namin at the time. So imagine nyo, 7,000 plus per night, tapos shared bathroom pa yun. Pero yun eh. After checking in and iwan yung bag sa room, labas kami agad for dinner. The most famous na kainan dito sa Queenstown ay probably itong Ferg Burger. We ordered its signature burger na yung karne niyan is beef patty, yung normal. And then nag-order din kami ng pork belly na burger. And truth be told, sa akin na, I think kay Vince din, yung signature burger, okay lang naman siya. Masarap naman siya. Pero, yung pork belly, yun yung talagang nagustuhan namin. Ang laki rin nga pala nung servings ng pareho. So, actually, pwede kayong maghati na lang kung dalawa kayo. Kasi malaki talaga siya. Ako, hindi ko gugustuhin ubusin yung isa. Malaki siya masyado for me. After no, naglakad-lakad lang kami sa mall area, tapos we called it a night na. Mahaba kasi yung araw na to, and medyo pangmalakasan kasi yung susunod na araw, so I had to be in my best form para sa main activity tomorrow. I wouldn't call myself a daredevil, and I don't really describe myself as adventurous, but eto, tatalon tayo sa eroplano today. Ayan, good morning! Good morning! So, today ang ating pinaka-nilook forward to na day kasi magsa-skydiving tayo with Krisa! Yes, magsa-skydive tayo dito sa New Zealand. May 3 main reasons kung bakit ko pinili na mag-skydive dito. sa Queenstown, of all places. Una, kasi yung friend nating si Krisa, she really wanted to do it and kailangan niya ng kasama. Gusto niya talaga ng kasama. And hindi natin pwedeng asahan si Ivan and si Vince na gumawa ng mga ganito. Kahit tutukan mo sila ng baril, hindi mo sila mapapag-skydiving. Second, because it's relatively affordable here sa New Zealand. Yung skydiving yun yung relatively affordable. And emphasis on relatively. Skydiving in general, mahal naman talaga siya. Sa Siquijor and sa Cebu, kung magsa-skydive ka, prepare to shell out 24,500 pesos per person. Kasama na yung photos and videos doon. Pero diba, 24,500, mahal nun. Sa Switzerland nga, yung pinakamura na nahanap ko, yung parang 30,000 pesos yun eh. Pero yung sa Dubai, ito ang mahal talaga. It can set you back mga kulang-kulang na 35,000. Kasama na yung video doon. Tapos ito yung sa desert. Mas mahal pa kung doon sa yung beach. Anong tawag doon? The Palm. Basta makikita nyo na lang sa screen. Nakalimutan ko yung tawag. Here in Queenstown, the most budget-friendly option ay itong 9,000 feet na jump lang, which costs 345 NZD, mga 11,400 pesos yan. If you're just after the experience, pwedeng, yun na, okay na yun. Kung gusto mo maranasan, G. Pero, most people would want to document, diba? Yung makapture yung experience. So, marami nag-a-avail din talaga ng photo and video package na ito medyo mahal. 6,890 siya or 209 NZD. So, yung total kapag tatalon ka plus yung photo-video package ay 18,290. Pero, pag kinumpare mo sa mga binanggit ko kanina, that's much cheaper than most options out there. And yung third reason natin, bakit natin ito ginagawa, I just thought it was quite fitting to go skydiving sa destination na many regard as the adventure capital of the world. It's a nickname na I think the city has earned and deserve. Alam niyo yan? First, dito nyo makikita yung kauna-unahang permanent commercial bungee jumping site dun sa Kawarau Gorge Suspension Bridge. And over the years, itong Queenstown naging venue na rin to for more and more extreme sports. Anyway, yung meetup place namin ay dito sa End Zone office sa City Center, just within walking distance of our hostel. At the last minute, nag-decide kami ni Krisa na mag-upgrade to 12,000 feet. Kasi, wala, na-convince lang kami ng staff. After a short briefing, we were then transferred to the drop zone where I stepped into a jumpsuit and met Elliot, who would be diving with me. For the next several minutes, hawak ni Elliot yung buhay ko. Nasa kanyang mga kamay ang aking buhay. But it was glorious. I don't think I'll be doing it again in the near or distant future, pero ibang level talaga. After lunch, nag-dessert kami sa famous na Patagonia Ice Creamery and Chocolaterie where I had its signature and award-winning hazelnut cremino na carry lang naman for me, pero yung flavor na talagang nagustuhan ko ay yung dulce de leche. We then walked to Skyline Queenstown to ride a cable car to this lookout which affords awesome views of the city, Lake Wakatipu, and the surrounding areas. This wasn't our first luge ride. Na-try na namin to sa Singapore and sa Misibis Bay. But this was definitely the most scenic and most exhilarating. Yung view alone habang pababa ka sa slope and ninegotiate mo yung curves, sobrang phenomenal. We did it 3 times but we felt like we should have booked the 6-ride package instead kasi parang nabitin pa kami ng konti. We boarded the gondola back down and along the way, may nadaanan kaming sementeryo and kung nakikinig kayo ng The Poor Traveler podcast, then alam nyo na mahilig akong dumaan sa sementeryo. So, I convinced Ivan to check it out with me and in-explore namin a little bit. Apparently, nandito sa sementeryo yung start nung sikat na hiking trail. Tiki hiking trail yung tawag. Back at the steamer wharf, after checking out souvenir shops and trying to get a table at the city's top restaurants, most of which were fully booked that night, we ended up here at Flame Bar and Grill, which serves local New Zealand and also South African dishes. Yung best seller nila dito ay yung sticky ribs. Kami ni Vince, ang in-order namin ay yung flame mixed grill platter na composed of signature ribs, sirloin steak, rotisserie peri-peri chicken, and homemade na African sausage. Now, nakamark yung platter na to na good for one person. Pero that time, we had a feeling na parang sobrang dami naman niya for one person lang. Kaya kahit na yung resto, meron siyang 1 meal per person policy, tinanong namin ni Vince yung staff kung okay lang ba na mag-share na lang kami, and okay naman daw. Nag-add na lang kami ng small bowl ng New Zealand's native green lip mussels as appetizer. Itong mussels na to, dito lang siya sa New Zealand nakikita. And considered siya na must-try talaga dito. At this point, we had gotten used to the large serving sizes dito sa New Zealand, pero hindi pa rin kami prepared sa dumating. It was a feast, as in fiesta, fiestang fiesta. Parang may piging, ganyan. Nag-share kami ni Vince, di ba? Pero nahirapan pa rin kaming ubusin lahat. Naubos naman namin, pero the struggle was real. But it was our best meal sa New Zealand so far. Every single thing on the table, even yung in-order ni Krisa na Mozambique prawns, was delectable. This was the day we'd all been waiting for. Milford Sound is probably South Island's most talked about attraction, and sobrang excited namin na makita ito finally. Nag-join kami ng group tour na gumagamit nung bus na ganito. Meron siyang glass ceiling. Sinadya talaga namin na ganitong bus yung pipiliin para mas ma-appreciate namin yung paligid. We booked this on Klook, and again, check out the link in the description para makita nyo yung exact tour na binook namin. Milford Sound is part of the Fiordland National Park and roughly 4 hours away siya from Queenstown. So yes, we spent a whole lot of time sa bus. May mga stops naman along the way, pero talagang most of your time nasa bus. Kasama sa mga stops ay itong Totoko Suspension Bridge with a view of Mount Totoko, pero I think yung pinaka-favorite ko ay itong 100 Falls at the Milford Valley Lookout. Ito yung first time ko na ma-surround by countless cascades all around. As in, kahit saan ka lumingon, merong waterfall. Sobrang surreal and magical. Way past noon, we finally arrived at the visitor center by the pier, where we boarded a boat and began our cruise along the fjord, bombarding us with waterfall after waterfall after waterfall. At first, we stayed on the top deck for the view, but when things got splashy, we decided to climb down to the cafeteria where we had lunch, na kasama naman sa package. The whole cruise lasted almost 2 hours from boarding to disembarkation. As soon as we hit land, again, we were herded back to the bus to start our journey back to Queenstown kasi malayo-layo pa yon. Pagbalik namin sa city, it took us some time to find a dinner place kasi again, most restaurants were packed. But we ended up here at Mapo 88, a Korean restaurant tucked in one of the inner alleys. We had kimchi fried rice, honey soy chicken, and raboki. Everything was for sharing, kaya naghati-hati na lang kami sa bill. It's our last full day in Queenstown, and today it's just Vince and I. Nauna nang lumipad sina Chris and Ivan pabalik ng Manila nung umaga. So, yung itinerary natin today, mas laid back lang. Pupuntahan lang natin yung mga na-miss natin the past few days and bibili-bili lang tayo, kakain-kain, ganyan. We realized after 9 days na hindi pa kami nakakita ng kiwi, which is perhaps New Zealand's biggest icon. So, this morning, yung main attraction na pupuntahan natin ay itong Kiwi Park, which was just beside the Skyline Gondola Station. If you have fewer days, you can visit both Kiwi Park and Skyline within the same day. Hindi namin siya ginawang ganon kasi nung umpisa, a little bit hesitant kami Hindi kasi kami mahilig talaga sa mga animal attractions. Pero in the end, we decided to still check it out. Kiwi Park is a family-owned wildlife center. In-establish ito noong 1986 on what was once an unofficial rubbish tip. Tapos, na-transform nila ito into a lush 5-acre na wildlife center. According to the staff, this park was dedicated to the conservation of New Zealand's unique native species, including but not limited to the kiwi. Merong 30-minute conservation show introducing some of its resident birds. But yung kiwi talaga, na sila talaga yung pinupuntahan dito, they are sheltered sa parang building na blacked out completely and bawal yung photography, kaya wala kaming photos or footage na mapapakita sa inyo. Yung ibang birds naman, some of them were kept in enclosures, so if hindi nyo bet na nakakakita ng animals in captivity, this might not be for you. Pero very informative and insightful yung visit dito kasi marami ka talagang natututunan tungkol sa mga endangered na animals ng New Zealand. We then spent the rest of the day walking around Queenstown Mall, shopping for souvenirs, and picking out here at the Yum Hub na mga food trucks na nagsiserve ng international plates. Tapos pumunta rin kami sa Fogo, Brazilian barbecue spot naman ito, and nagpunta rin kami sa Yonder, a popular cafe and resto. Tapos yung last na tinry namin ay yung Cookie Time. It's a snack bar famous for, well, cookies and hot chocolate. Bumalik din pala kami sa Patagonia to try another flavor of their famous ice cream. Our flight out of New Zealand was scheduled at 7 a.m. so we were up and about as early as 3 a.m. Pero yung terminal kasi hindi siya nag-open until 4 a.m. kaya medyo naghintay pa kami sa labas a little bit. The whole check-in, immigration, and boarding processes, lahat yon sobrang smooth and uneventful. Even yung immigration officer ulit dito, ano siya, bait, machika. Actually, yung babait ng mga immigration officers na encounter namin dito sa New Zealand. If you want a written version of this itinerary, visit www.theporttraveler.net/new-zealand-itinerary. Sa baba niyan, meron kaming summarized version with time and may budget breakdown din. Speaking of budget, siguro naman by this time, napansin nyo na sobrang mahal dito sa New Zealand. In-expect ko na mataas ang cost of travel, pero medyo nagulat pa rin ako kasi hindi ganito kataas yung nasa isip ko. Pero even yung mga friend ko na locals na, dito na talaga sila nakatira, lagi nga nilang sinasabi na mahal talaga yung cost of living dito. For this itinerary, we spent a total of around 172,000 pesos per person, inclusive of flights, hotels, tours, meals, and transfers. 10 days ito ha, 4 cities. Yung mga hotel na pinagstayan natin, nasa Auckland, Rotorua, Christchurch, and Queenstown. Pero meron din tayong 3 additional day trips to other destinations. So, Hobbiton, tapos yung Lake Tekapo and Mount Cook, tapos yung Milford Sound. So, medyo siksik din naman talaga yung 10 days na to. Doon sa 172,000 na yan, 50,000 dyan ay sa flights na punta and almost 30,000 naman sa hotel. Per person to ha. So sa hotels, room for 2 yung binook namin tapos split kami ni Vince. Si Ivan na kasama natin sa trip, iba yung computation niya. Lumabas na mas mahal yung kanya kasi may mga hotels na wala siyang kahati. Also, magkaiba kami ng flights. Kasi siya, Manila, New Zealand, Manila talaga. Tapos nasa 75,000 yung flights niya. Kami naman, since yung trip na to was part of a greater Australia-New Zealand trip, yung flight namin na sinama sa computation is Melbourne, New Zealand, Manila. So, nasa 49,000 lang yon. Pero if kunyari, same flights kami ni Ivan, kunyari lang, tataas sa 198,000 yung total na magagastos namin. Mas mahal kasi mas matagal yung stay namin ng 1 day. By the way, yung mga conversions na pinapakita namin sa inyo, iba-iba siya ha, kasi iba-ibang cards yung ginagamit namin. May mga expenses kasi na credit card ni Vince yung ginamit, minsan credit card ko, minsan GCash ko, minsan GCash ni Vince. So, iba-iba sila ng rates, kaya hindi siya consistent. So, kung ano yung conversion na na-charge sa amin, yun nilalagay namin. And kapag di namin makita, ang ginagamit namin conversion is 33.7 kasi yun yung madalas na nakikita namin at that time. Pero as of this writing, mas maganda na ngayon yung palitan ng New Zealand dollar. So, mas bababa pa talaga yan. Parang, as of ngayon, nasa 33 na lang halos talaga. And hindi namin sinama sa computation yung mga souvenirs na binili namin and yung mga alak. So, if manginginom kayo, dagdagan nyo na lang. Kung napansin nyo rin, madalas ay eat out kami kasi marami talaga kaming mga restaurants na gustong itry. Pero kung tipid kayo, kaya nyo namang mapababa yung cost if mag-stick kayo sa mga mas murang kainan or bili kayo ng food sa supermarket or kahit sa convenience stores. Again, lahat ng mga binook namin na hotels and tours na marirecommend namin, kinumpile namin yung mga yan sa TPT Master List para hindi na kayo mahirapan. Just visit www.thepoortraveler.net/masterlist. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to use our promo codes for discounts. And remember, plan smart, travel safe, and make every trip worth it.